I don't want to know.
Our God and Father, we come before you right now, and first thing we want to do is praise you for who you are. Thank you for being the God of the universe. Thank you for being as loving as you are powerful. Thank you for saving us. And now we praise you for Blake and Brittany and the wedding tomorrow. I pray that you bless that and what's going on. And then we pray that you bless their marriage and their lives together. And it's through Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. God, you're so rude. I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I know some of y'all drove a long way. We still got another drop on crawfish, so the night is still young, but some people have left, so I didn't want to miss anybody else before we kind of kicked things off. So if anybody has anything to say, like Nathan said, this will kind of open things up. But as I guess, observe more things about life as I get older and wiser in my years, I realize that opportunities like this, to be surrounded by people that you love and people that are dear to you and have made an impact on your life from all different kinds, all different walks of life, all different points in your life, opportunities like that are extremely rare and special. So this is just a precious moment for me and Brittany, for all y'all to be here, because we love all of you, and it's cool to see people that we love from different points in our life and different times and different walks in our life to all be here in the same space, to see y'all all interact, and y'all have the bond of being our family or knowing me and Brittany, and it's cool to see y'all interact with each other. And I want to thank y'all. Me and Brittany, it's been a 4-year journey now, and it is thanks to a lot of y'all through different mountains and valleys that have helped us get to, a few valleys every once in a while. Very small valleys, yeah. Mostly mountains, But we owe a lot of thanks to y'all for helping us get through those and getting to the mountain we're on right now, to be ready for tomorrow and to be ready to live the rest of our lives together. So thank all of you, and this is a toast to all of you that are here that have given and supported and sacrificed and encouraged and held us accountable, and just whatever you've done to get us to this point. We love you, and we thank you for being here tonight. Let's have a great weekend. Cheers.
So Nate yelled out my name, so I'm going to come up here and stand silently until somebody else comes up. My name is Mark. I've known Blake since 5th or 6th grade. So growing up together, I felt like 90% of our friends were 6 feet tall and bearded by 6th grade, like this guy. And Blake and I felt tall until 6th grade through 12th grade. And we all had high voices until 12th grade. And then we came back with a vengeance. It's like, hey, remember that time you were tall? Not anymore, guys. You stopped growing. So Blake and I had a lot of, it was kind of funny when he first showed up on the scene. I felt a lot of threatened male presence because he was the only short, scrawny white guy to threaten my abilities with the girls, which didn't exist because everybody else was full grown. So we had a lot of tension. We were definitely the most competitive because we had to try the hardest. So I probably got injured the most, and Blake performed the best, which made me think even more of him at the time when I went home and cried in my sleep because I was the smallest, least athletic person trying the hardest. But growing up together, we bonded a ton through just being guys. You are so dumb. As a kid, you have no idea. And we want to say we're sorry to all you girls. But just growing, like you say, I mean, it's not like we're wise, but we have amazing role models that we grew up with, like Les, who are here today. And we had guys to look up to and attempt to figure out how to be something like that. And the openness that Blake had, the passion that Blake had to be great, really got pushed through our group of guys. And I mean, to this day, we look at each other and we're just amazed that we got out of a very ignorant and very energetic and very dumb time in life without being scathed too badly, with an amazing support group. And I mean, we just couldn't have done it without each other. And Blake's passion and accountability and just drive was a big part of what held our group together. And regardless of where all of us ended up today, we all kind of looked back to Blake and saw his path, what he got to go through, and we all looked up to you regardless of where we were. Everybody had a different path in life, and Blake was always going after that piece of his heart that meant the most to him, and that drove you to do whatever in your life was that piece of your heart, no matter how scared you were, because you had a role model who was a counterpart who was doing it with you. And it's amazing to see. So Brittany, thank you for the thing that I love is this is my last friend getting married. And the thing that I love is I can look back through absolutely everybody and see how God has placed each woman into that man's life that should have been there. And there's, especially with me, there's probably a lot of women who all of my friends are glad that are not here anymore. And Blake was never that invested in anybody, and then you came, and I mean, really, his heart never belonged to anybody. Like you see people, and I'm one of those people who like think that like your heart has to go to that person immediately, and it just has to happen. You got to make it work, and if it doesn't, you're a failure. But Blake really never gave his heart to anybody until this moment, and that just means a ton to me, and it's amazing to see. And I'm just excited for you guys. So.
Okay, I'm horrible at speaking. I'm going to tell you that now. But I feel like this is a rare opportunity. So, I want to say first, I know a lot of people think y'all have 11 bridesmaids, groomsmen. All of my bridesmaids have literally been friends since childhood. And it means a lot to me that each one of y'all are here. I know I grew up in diapers with Courtney, moved in with Lacey. Brittany Shaw was there singing Queen of the Night with me on the corner under the street light. No. Okay, that sounds bad. I told you I'm not good at this. Okay, she lived around the corner from me. So we would always meet on the corner at the street light. We were in 5th grade. Jesse lived in the house on the corner, would join us sometimes. I mean, cheerleading with Julie. Well, actually, we met in junior high, the track meets, you know. District champ, thank you. No, Gina over here, who's been there in high school, junior high, not a bridesmaid, but she's always been there for me. Jackie, Aunt Tracy, everyone decorating for us. Like, seriously, like, I told them this would not have come together without all of y'all being here, all of y'all helping us. This has been If someone calls me, hey, did you do this? No, why would I think of that? Of course, yes, I need that. So seriously, thank all of y'all. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom, Susan, for being there for me, raising me. I know it has been a struggle, and I know life happens, but thank y'all very, very much, all of y'all. It truly means the world to us. And Blake's friends, it seems from what I've seen, I feel like I already know all of y'all. I know some of y'all I am just first meeting, but I know a lot about you, and I feel like I've known y'all forever. So thank y'all very much.
I want to toast Blake and Brittany, and I'm going to start off with a Bible story, my favorite Bible story, okay? Now, I've used this before, but that's what you get for taking so long, okay? So, anyway, this story is one of my favorite stories about Jacob. And Jacob went into the promised land and he decided to go to sleep. And this is the story of Jacob's ladder, if you've all heard about that. He had a dream. He went to sleep and had a dream. And it was a dream about a ladder or a staircase where angels were ascending and descending on and the staircase was from earth into heaven, and they were ascending and descending on it. And at the top, God was at the top, and he spoke to Jacob, and he said, Jacob, I'm the Lord of Abraham and the God of Isaac your fathers, and I am going to fulfill my promise to them through you, that through you, your offspring will be like the dust of the earth, and it's going to cover this land and fulfill this land. And basically, the Messiah is going to come from this line. And then this is what he said. And then after that, he said, I promise I'm going to do this until it's done. And then from there, Jacob wakes up. And he says, surely the Lord is in this place. And then he said, and then it says he was afraid. And then he said, how awesome is this place? And so every place, and then he set up a monument because he knew the Lord was there. And so what I'd like to say is, we've seen the venue, and we know it's beautiful, but we know also tomorrow that what's going to take place, we know the place is also going to be awesome because God is there. He is definitely going to be there. I believe he's always with us, but I believe he steps in big moments like this because he made marriage, and he's always real happy about that. And he's definitely going to be there, and it's going to be awesome. But in addition to that, what I'd like to encourage you all is to make sure you always include the Lord in your marriage, because 10 years, 20, 50 years from now, you can say our marriage has been awesome because surely the Lord has been there. And that's what I encourage you to be. I want to say, Brittany, we heard about you for a while. And we heard about you, and then we finally got to start knowing you this last year. And as soon as we started knowing you, I want you to know we fell in love with you. And we can all see that you're very beautiful when you walk in, but after we get to know you, we know that you're even more beautiful inside. And we are so glad. We know why Blake has seen you. What Blake sees in you. Obviously, you're a fantastic mother. We can all see that. And you're very loving. I remember when we worked together last year I would come home and tell Terry, she's awesome. She's completely awesome. And you walk by faith, and we're doing all these things, and there were many difficult things you had to do, and that's what I see in everything you do, is you do it with a smile, and you're just great about it. You're full of faith, you're loving, you're caring and unselfish, and we just love you, and we know what Blake always saw. Blake, I want to say to you, it's been fun watching you grow up. Being your stepfather, I can't take claim on how great you are. I'll let everyone else take the credit for that. But I want you to know, I've never known anyone who was as dedicated to football as you were. And I've known a lot of football players, and none of them were as dedicated to you. And as we look now, I remember looking at it then, and I always admired that. But what I see when I look back on that, we've talked about it, that was just kind of a prefigure of you, or it was a sign of what's to come about what a dedicated man you're going to be, and the dedicated man you are to God, to Brittany and Bryson, and your family and your friends. And so for that, we're all very proud of you. For your mother and I, we want you to know we're very proud and happy for you. And we also know what Brittany sees in you. So anyway, I'd like to toast Blake and Brittany and say, may you have an awesome marriage. All right.
Like she said, we've known each other since we were in diapers. Our moms knew each other. I call her Bitsa, which came from her mom. I don't know where, but that's how she's saved in my phone. Maybe she was itty bitty. I don't know. From summers in the pool to smashing nachos on the trash can in elementary school. She's always been a Spitfire. Just, Spitfire. Just spunky and do your own thing. And we just, I don't know. We were close as kids, and we're really close and drifted apart, in high school and stuff, but have come back to each other. And I didn't, at first I was unsure of Blake, and I was like, okay, whatever, we'll see how it works. And now, he's perfect. I can't see anybody else with her, so. They're really the perfect couple for each other, and cheers to Blake and Brittany.
Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah! Let's get a round of applause for Blake and Brittany. I haven't known Blake too long, but I first met him at Brittany's 30th birthday. And what I can say about that, we had a great time. This guy's amazing. I can't wait for the future for you guys. This is more of an introduction for my wife, honestly. But the first time I met Brittany, I had picked him up. I had my new Dodge Neon. They were at Raw in Legacy, and we had drove to Blackfin out in Addison, and I never seen them since. They left us. They left me with me and my friend, and they weren't talking to us till the whole night. And so we were more of like we were Uber before Uber was invented. Come to find out, but I just want to say congratulations to both you guys, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce Amanda Williams.
That was really good. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. I had just met him, and I was like, I was really excited about him. Yeah, I was like, will you come pick up me and my friend? And the friend was Brittany, and I was kind of like a chauffeur that night. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, now we're married, and it was all worth the drive. So I have known Brittany since middle school. Cheered together. She got kicked off the cheerleading team for provocative dancing. I too did provocative dancing, but somehow stayed on the team. She was really mad at me at that time. Yeah, go on, right? But she, I will say that Brittany is super competitive in everything that she does, but with grace. She's got a heart of gold. She loves everyone that she meets and touches in life. And I don't know, like it's a constant smile with her, around her. There can be years that go by or I don't see her, and it's like we just pick up where we left off, and I think that's a friendship that a lot long for. When I met Blake, she, pulled me to the side. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? And I will just say that I feel like I've been a part of all of previous prior relationships, whatever you want to call them. And Blake, I will say you yes, you win. There was something different that I saw in you, but not only in you, but that I saw in her. And there was something different in her that was very present. And she's not super emotional. She tries to find like the funny side of everything. And when I noticed that she wasn't being funny and she was being serious, I was like, oh shit, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this is the real deal. And I couldn't have been like more excited at that time. So I just want to thank you for being patient. I'm not the most patient person, so I thank him every day. But I also know, but I also know that, when I met him, he brought a presence of the Lord in my life that I was missing. And I think that you brought that into Brittany's life. And I think that that's why we are where we are today. So I'm thankful for that, for her, for you. It's a long time coming. It's always been inside her, but it wasn't until you came that it like lit that fire in her. So I'm really happy for y'all. I'm gonna stop. Next.
All right, so I'm gonna tell a funny story and a serious story. The funny one involves a couple 10th graders, and me, Blake, huh? How old were we? 10th graders? Yeah, we were me, Blake, and one of my other buddies were the 10th graders, and one of them was a quote-unquote star baseball player. A couple of them were a couple star football players. And an infomercial came on. And we were kind of bored. And we found that this infomercial was a lady that could tell you your future. So, back then there was no cell phones. It was just a regular dial phone. And the only phone that we had was Blake's mom's phone. And so, long story short, we called this lady. Blake told us to. He wanted to know his future, so.
I did not believe in that at all.
But anyways, one of them was going to be a star baseball player. He was going to be a star football player, and I don't remember what mine was. But the end of it was, I'm pretty sure that Blake's mother got a $900 bill from the Tarot lady or whatever it was, but. Oh yeah, we did call the hair guy too. I'll let Raymond tell that one.
Like, grow your hair back? I'm good, man. I'm good.
But Blake's been pretty much like a brother to me. I've looked up to him. He's been there for me when I needed him. I really appreciate it, man. The serious story. There was a point in time where Blake was being a guy, like we all are, and me and Brittany were having a serious conversation about Blake. And I've known Blake for a really long time, and I knew where his heart was at that point in time, and I knew Brittany was super frustrated, and Blake doesn't know this, so I called Brittany up, and I said, Brittany, I really want you to know something, man. Blake's he's like my brother, and I know you're frustrated with him, but don't give up on him yet. Like he truly loves you. He really wants to be with you. He means best, but he's just being a guy, and it really speaks loudly to where they are now. Brittany being the woman that she is, and Blake being the man that he is, and I'm extremely happy for both of you. You've become like a sister to me because he's like my brother. I love you dearly. and it's going to be awesome. I'm ready for y'all to have some little kids that are going to play football and have all that fun stuff going on. Bryson's all running around here. I love that kid, so I love both y'all, and I wish you the best. So cheers to Blake and Brittany. Oh, yeah, let me tell another story. Oh, I got one more story. So Blake comes to me, and he's like, hey, you know where I could get one of those big wire spools? I'm an electrician, so I'm like, yeah, I think I could probably get you one. Exactly a month ago today, I'm going up to a parts store, and just this random big wire spool is in the back of this big metal container. So I'm like, man, I'm going to do something really nice for Blake and Brittany. I'm going to get this massive wire spool. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's in the back of my truck. So I jump in this metal container by myself, and I jump in this, and I'm like, this thing's kind of heavy, so I don't know if I can do this, but I grab it, and I'm flipping it over, and it catches my finger, and it rips my finger off. So this little deal right here was all for them. So hopefully we get to use that little wire spool, because it's pretty expensive wire spool.
It's up for sale afterwards, so we don't know how long.
Yeah, to pay the doctor's bill.
To the wire spool.
Yeah, to the wire spool.
So I'm going to be speaking more than you'd like probably tomorrow, so I'm going to keep this really short. I have a more funny story tomorrow, so I'm just going to be a little more serious. I've known Blake for 24 years now, and I've seen you grow through a number of adverse situations, from late developing puberty to being way too small to play on varsity, to going through a really unfortunate hairstyle phase on numerous occasions, to finally becoming a man sometime last year. And I'm just very proud of you. I'm just kidding, but the last year, it was 2 years ago. But in all seriousness, this guy's been my best friend for a long time, and we've been through a lot together. To see him seriously overcome a lot in his life, and to be here, and to be honored to be a part of this tomorrow with the other guys and everybody that's here. And the Valleys comment you made earlier was funny, because we've been living together, you, me, and Michael, and a couple other people for 3 years now. And it's been interesting. But to see God, literally, I mean, we joke about it, but to see God really transform the two of you in the last couple of years, where, as the roommates, it's our job to be like, no, I don't know about this Brittany, It's our job to do that, and we did it. But but there was a turning point where you guys really grew, and you really found some things in yourself that you both needed to work on, and you really did that. And it's obvious, I think, to everybody here, and everyone has echoed those words, that God has put you in this place. So to a wonderful day tomorrow, to my best friend and his beautiful bride. What do you say? Dilly dilly? Dilly dilly. All right, thank you.
Hey, everybody. To those of you that don't know me, I've known Brittany since she was about, 5th grade? Can you hear me? You good? Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I'm going to take you back to 5th grade. We moved into the neighborhood. In fact, 3021 Commonwealth, because we moved into her home. We took over her home. We moved in. We bought their house, and 2 days into living in that home, I saw two beautiful little blonde-headed girls walk up to my door. And keep in mind, I had a son about their age. Just saying, They walk up to my house, and they said, and my son's peeking behind the door, "Don't open the door, Mom. Don't open the door. I think I know them." And I'm like, oh, gosh. Okay, so he's terrified of these two beautiful little blonde girls. And so opens the door, and they say, "Well, we just wanted to welcome you in our neighborhood. And we just wanted to know if y'all ever need anything, just let us know. We live at that house right there." And then Shaw said, "We live at that house right there." So within about, 5 or 6 houses down, and then the rest, they spent all their high school years together, Tim and Brittany and Shaw, and they had quite a few memories at that house that I'd rather not talk about. maybe up on top of the shed a few times, playing spin the bottle probably. And I don't want to know about all that. No, sorry. Anyways, but I want to also, after that, high school, I'll never forget going to see Brittany one year. She was on the basketball court. She was a cheerleader. I want to say it was about maybe 11th grade. She was cheering that night, and she was on the, no, actually, I think she was trying out for cheerleader that day. She was trying out for cheerleader, and she went to do back handsprings, and she did about 12, and the very last one, she fell on her butt. And everybody else would have laughed, and the entire stadium, everybody in the basketball, stood up and basically gave her a standing ovation. Only Brittany could get that. So I want to say she set a record, 12 back handsprings that day. Was that right? Is that about right? And she taught herself. She had no lessons. She did everything on her own. But we've had some ups and downs, some tragedies in our lives, and we've been through a lot together. But I can't tell you how much of a blessing this little girl's been in my life, and how much she means to me, and what a blessing it is to see these two married tomorrow and join together. And if I could give you any advice, put Jesus first, and then everything else will fall in place. I love you.
Okay, my name is Brianna. I have been friends with Brittany since the first grade. Yes, bridesmaid. I call her my white sister. We grew up together, and we've been through a lot, but we've always, we would come in and out of each other's lives. We'd go even a couple of years without talking, and then we always pick up right where we left off. And I've always just admired her strength and her work ethic and never giving up. And I've always looked up to you. And, being single moms when we were younger, I always said, if Brittany can do it, then I can do it. If she can do this, I can do this. Yeah, but we helped each other out with all that. And, there's a couple of times that we'd get mad at each other, but we're like, okay, fine, I'm sorry, whatever. And she actually, this is crazy. So I grew up in Irving, I moved to Grapevine, and she would ride her bike over 360 to 121 to get into Grapevine when she was in 4th grade. Did you ever know that? And my dad found out, he's like, never again. What are you thinking? But she would ride her bike over there just to come see me. Yeah, it was busy. She would cross this bridge, coming to see me. And, yeah, it was crazy. It was still far. Yeah.
We would ride up from sun up to sundown.
Oh yeah, all the time. But I love you, and I'm so happy for you. And I just wish I nothing but happiness. And I barely met Blake on y'all's engagement party. And she told me about you, and the first time she told me about you, her face just lit up, and I knew she found her happiness. And thank you for being so good to her and Bryson.
Okay, so apparently Mark and I aren't friends. We've gone back since middle school, but it's okay. Your wife's invited to my wedding, though.
Man, I've been harvesting all this emotion for the last 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm like Brittany. I don't speak well in front of crowds, but I really don't like this. I don't like it.
He didn't like you.
Blake and I go back to 5th grade. Tim called my mom. Tim like that. Called my mom. Said, "Hey, is Rankin playing any sports?" No, not really. So ever since he goes, well, he looks athletic. We can
He looked the exact same that he does now.
I was the same height.
Yes, he was a monster.
I was the same height as now. But I owe it to Blake and Tim and Terry for keeping me going in sports. There was times where I was like, I don't want to play. But my mom pushed me. The Timmons pushed me. So I owe them a lot. Blake and I have been through a lot from college to being adults. I ended up at McMurray because of Blake. I was just not doing anything. He goes, hey, you want to kick field goals? I don't know. I haven't kicked in a while. So
Come on.
He, one day he called me. He goes, hey, we have to go lift, run, and then you're going to kick. So for a whole summer, I ran hundreds, and I'm slow. That's why I kick. And he's like, okay, you got to beat me. There's no way I'm beating Blake. I went from beating him at everything at middle school to him running a 4.4. And I'm still running like 5 flats. So I do owe Blake a lot. He is my brother. I love him to death. Brittany, when I met Brittany, she was also dancing really provocatively. At Cowboys Red River. And it wasn't at the corner under the street light.
That's good.
So where was it?
For money.
Cowboys, Red River.
It was at Cowboys Red River. Blake calls me. He goes, hey, you want to go to Cowboys? I'm like, I think some two-stepping. So,
who is your son marrying? Oh my God.
So, but from the get-go, just from talking to Brittany, and that night, Blake goes, what do you think?
What do you think?
I was like, well, she's nice, she's fun, but, later on, just hanging out with her and everything, I told Blake, I'm very outspoken when it comes to life and what I believe. I was like, I like her. I still like her.
I'm glad.
She's my sister now. So welcome to the family. Bryson's awesome. We love Bryson. Pretty sure he's another roommate. So to wrap it up, I love you guys. Thank you for letting me be part of it. And I'm glad you found your balance.
Find the balance.
Corona.
Dilly.
From Karate Kid, when Daniel goes off in the new car, he says find the balance, and he's going to find his girlfriend. So anytime me and Raymond were going to find girls, we said we're going to find balance.
Okay. Am I even talking? Okay, everyone can hear me. All right. Don't make it anymore. What? It's not. What? It's okay. Anyways. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So I met Brittany in college. It's over a decade ago. We're putting that out there. We worked together, but we didn't. She was back in DFW, and these people kept coming up to me while we worked, and they're like, have you met Brittany? Blah, blah, blah. She's on the calendar, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, I don't know who you're talking about. Well, the second that she got back to Lubbock as fast as she could, I did meet her, and I don't know she's the nicest person ever, and we became really good friends, and just made me get through college, and I don't know what else to say. I moved in for a little bit, and the best thing is that we both were from DFW, and so when we were back over summer, I think, we ended up working together too. So she said, hey, can you pick me up? We're going to go out to eat or whatever. And so this is when GPS was the first thing. And I go to pick her up, and G-Mall lived in Bedford. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like 10 seconds down from my parents' house. So I go to pick her up, and I'm like, how did we not go to high school together? So she then explains that, and I'm like, okay, all right. Well, that's where she was living, and so we went and did whatever we were doing. We finished college. We both moved back here. Crazy times. And I don't know what else we've been doing since then. Then she told me she was pregnant. With Bryson, and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. That's him. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, let me breathe. Long story short, yeah, y'all. Anyways, We did. We moved back from college together, lived in DFW, and just one of my go-to girls. She is the nicest. Yes, it is a ride or die. One of the nicest, sweetest, most humbling, most beautiful. I mean, you just can't find a friend like this. You really can't. And then she met Blake.
Thank God.
Yes. And she said, and I was like, girl.
Come here, boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Come here.
Good. Long story short, then I met Blake, and I was like, yep, this is the one. Like,
She'll be right back.
hold on.
Hold, please.
Baby, yeah. Tell us some of the other stories.
No, there's real funny stories. But yeah, long story short, met Blake. Oh my goodness. I don't know. There was a dark period between both of our lives. And, I just kind of, I felt like I lost the light in Brittany's eyes and the happiness. And I kept telling her, I don't know. I kept saying positive through everything. Life is hard. But she did. She met Blake, and I was like, I have just never seen you light up like this before. And I literally, and it's 100% true. And I was like, you've got to stick with this one. There's, no other better ones out there. Just kidding. But for real, they literally, I can't believe they're getting married tomorrow. And it's just amazing that we've come this far. It's been 3-4 years?
We've been dating for 3 years. We've known each other for 4 years.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
I am.
I know he is.
Hey, I asked him the same thing.
I said, can I marry your daughter? Are you sure?
And then to just finish everything, just anytime that she gets a phone call from Blake or anything, she just lights up like it's. I just never seen it. It's just crazy. And she literally does adore you. And we all do. Friends, family, everything. Like,
Now we do. Sometimes.
no. What the heck? No. So anyways, yes, like it is meant to be. That's what I say. I mean, life, I said some things are meant to be. What's that?
Good night, everybody. We love all of you. Thank you for being here tonight. Hang out for as long as you want. We still got more crawfish getting dropped back here. But again, it's a special time. We love you. Thank you for being a part of our lives. And let's have a great weekend.
When I'm sitting in traffic some afternoon, or bored to death in some waiting room,